Name, please, next.
My name is Lisa McCoy Kelly. I live at 22 Route 403. And pass out a few handouts. I brought a few visuals for you.
Right.
Thank you. Sorry.
So I've been in the unique situation over the last year of watching the progress of this development out of the windows of my house. I own the property that is the only adjoining property that shares a property line with the development that County Line Equities is working on. And it's been a very intriguing view into the process that Philipstown has with the planning board, the zoning board, the civic process for how things get improved and built, because I woke up one Saturday morning and my fence was being knocked down. And a few weeks later, a building went up. And I was assured by Mr. Jacinta and others that that was perfectly legal, that it was safe and good, and that was fine. In January of last year, I wrote a letter to this board, to the town board, and to the zoning board, and received back an answer from Mr. Morante, and that it said, sorry, I've gone a little bit off of my notes because I feel like I want to follow up on some of the things that have been said here by others. His letter dated January 25th, 2007 stated that the building had been done at that point was in compliance with town law. He also said that the site plan approval for the property will be required prior to any new construction at the site, including the installation of fuel tanks. Site plan approval must be granted by the planning board. It was recommended that I watch the newspapers and that I keep in touch with Mr. Monroe from the building inspector's office, which I've done since that time. My husband and I get the paper every week and go through the legals and try to figure out is something going on. In all of that time, we've also watched continual progress on this site. And we've asked a lot of questions about why has this progress continued to happen and why can't this progress be stopped. And, you know, to Mr. Monroe's credit, I think that he's been put in a very difficult position, and I think that all of you people have been put in a difficult position. And I think that the zoning board has been put in a difficult position because we should not have proceeded with this project. This is not in keeping with the character of what Philipstown should be, and it's not in keeping with the town plan and the comprehensive plan. On Chapter 1 and page 6 of the comprehensive plan, it says, throughout this comprehensive planning process, residents have been clear that they like the community the way it was, and any new development should be in the scale and character with Philipstown's special character. On page 8, it says, the potential for poorly planned development poses an enormous threat to natural resources, as witnessed in some nearby communities. In order to ensure their preservation, there needs to be greater understanding of how development can be achieved with ecological sensitivity and how to balance conservation with growth. I think that this project is a good example of where that balance is being compromised. I think that there are 4 other gas stations in this area that are all much more in keeping with the character and scale of this town. I've provided photographs of them in your packets. I think that what Mr. Jacinta and County Line Equities are building is much more in line with the gas station up on Route 9 in Fishkill. This, to me, looks a lot like that Hess station. There's a lot more traffic on that section of Route 9 because they're right there by 84. And I don't know why, without that kind of traffic, we would need to support that many pumps, that many pumping stations. We were talking about 12 nozzles, 12 cars there at the same time. And in conversations with the developer, I've been told that, well, you know, they feel that there's probably going to be a lot of business in the convenience store, and I think that's true. I think a lot of people in this community would say, well, they're planning to be open early, they're planning to be open late. It'd be great to have a place to go and get some milk. I don't have any objections to the store. I don't have any objections to the fact that there will be a gas station there. What I have an objection to is the fact that that canopy is 70 by 58 feet. The variance that is needed for that, I agree that there's a very small portion of that piece of property that could be developed, and that for safety and fire suppression, there should be a canopy over the pumps. But I think that it is the job of this planning board to help guide the development of this piece of property to scale that canopy back and to scale the number of pumps back. No one else in this town has that many pumps, and I don't think that this particular site should be allowed to have that many. I think that with the number of staff they're talking about having in this facility, that they won't be able to man that many pumps. The application that they put before the planning board states that they will have 3 staff. I would think that that would mean that you'd have 1 person in the store and probably 2 people at the pumps. They said that they plan to have this be a full service station. How exactly are 2 people going to man those pumps from 5 o'clock in the morning until 11 o'clock every night, the hours that they said they're going to be open, during the busiest time of the day? The application that has been put forth says that during the busiest hour of the day there will be 197 customers expected. If those people are all pulling in and out, that means that among those 3 staff, every one of those people is serving more than 1 person a minute. So I don't know whether there's some, staffing issue, but I found that there are many things in